TIG cup sizes explained simple. Family, I want to take a brief moment and talk to you about the cup sizes. In this particular video, I'm going to talk about from 4 through 12. As you see, I only have 3 up here because this is what I use at the moment all the time. Now, when it comes to the 12 one, it's needed and used for a specific type of metal. And we're going to talk about that here shortly. But the first thing that I want to talk to you about is the cup sizes. Most students will just run over here and grab one and say, can I use this? Can I use this? Which one is best? Now, we want to say which one is more of an all-purpose. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. 6, 8, that's more of an all-purpose, like pretty much through the shop, lap joints, T-joints, dealing with, different type of thicknesses. Because normally you're going to be probably nothing over a 1/4 inch when you're doing these type of welds. So that'll be perfect for you, even if it's just on carbon steel alone. Now, when you're dealing with the cup sizes, why I said 4, 6, and 8, and 12, because as you go up to whole numbers, there are fractions. The 4 is a 1/4. The 6 is 3/8. The 8 is a 1/2, and if I had 12 sitting here, the 12 is 3/4. So that is also determines how much stick out you have. You can have 3/4, you can have a 1/2, 3/8, a 1/4 inch stick out. That's pretty much what it means. Now, let's break it down a little bit further. If you have a smaller cup sizes, normally the metal is real thin, or you're in a tight spot and you're trying to get it in. So it can be less forgiving though, because you got less gas coverage. So you got to make sure you're getting it in when you're dealing with a smaller cup. But normally that's for real thin stuff, tight spaces to get in. That's what that's for. When you're dealing with the 6 and the 8, normally, like I say, that's an everyday shop use. That's what they use in here. When I'm teaching them, they're using 6 and 8 cups to do just pad beads and do lap joints, T-joints, buck joints, corner joints, and things like that. Everyday shop rod. Now, everyday shop cup. Now, when it comes to this 12, now you can use the 12 on other like regular steel, but actually it's very good for stainless steel and titanium and alloys like that, because it gives a bigger gas coverage and also shields to keep the metal a little cooler, when you're running your bead. And then it also helps you to walk the cup. So having a bigger cup size can help you walk the cup a lot better when you have a bigger size. Normally I see people walk the cup, they like to have at least a 10 to a 12. That's just normally what I've seen. So when you're dealing with this in shop, you need to know exactly why things work. And here we're in the laboratory. This is a science lab. And I tell them, this is not high school. I don't want you to come in here and hurry up and get a grade and want to run off. We're trying to learn. We're trying to dissect welding. We want to know why and why not, and what happens if we did what we thought we could do, but it don't work. We want to know all of it, fam. So that's why when you take a moment and you get into a welding program, no matter where you are in the country or in the world, don't try to rush it. Learn everything, because learning all of this information is going to help you later from different jobs or going on different interviews. You might get some maintenance. Like, the knowledge is truly power. Knowledge is truly power. So you want the information. You just don't want to talk like you can weld, but you want to actually weld and know why this won't work or know why this will work. I think that's very important for students. Don't just throw too much on your plate, but make sure you get the basics. And when it comes to TIG welding, a lot of people will argue with me and say, save it for last. About 3 years ago, I changed my mind on this. I'm going to be honest with you. I was that way. Start with stick. I believe now, starting with the TIG welding process first in class, it helps the student gain the motor skills, gain the concept. It is a harder process, but it sets them up to make the other processes easier. And I tested in this platform, and it works, fam. This phase, we're just teaching TIG welding, but I have all the welding setups here, so I let them touch other things. It was easy for them to catch on to everything after they learned the TIG welding process. So my belief now is TIG really slows things down to really make you see. It's kind of like Flash for those who like Marvel comics. He can run so fast and don't even like you're running. And that's kind of how what TIG doing. You're doing a lot, but you're going so slow where you don't even seem like you're really covering a lot, but you are. So for those who want to dive into the welding process, I would say learn everything. Even if you're not going to use it all the time, just having that knowledge is a plus. But if you're trying to get into pipe welding, doing TIG joints, if you're trying TIG roots and stick welding all the way out or TIGing all the way out, there's great money in that. If you're trying to build specialty parts, there's great money in that. Stainless, aluminum, different alloys, that's what the TIG welding process is for. When the steel gets thicker, then you got stick, flux core, and MIG welding. But today, family, I just wanted to take a small, brief moment to talk to you about these cup sizes, the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 12. So we're gonna go over this real briefly right before I leave. The 4 is a quarter. The 6 is 3/8. The 8 is a half, and the 12 cup is 3/4. Learn your cup so that way when you're in class or you're building something in your shop or on a job, you'll know exactly how to go to it. And when you go into your first interview coming out of school, they're gonna be really impressed that you actually know why and why not. Be blessed, continues to prosper. I'm out. Hog on.